Was good, Josh? Your boy King Barracuda. Welcome to Straight Convo. So, this Diddy, P Diddy documentary been going around, and it's very controversial. Uh, it's something that I think most of us was familiar with. I've been researching a lot of stuff that goes on in the music industry for quite some time. So, like, none of this stuff was really shocking, honestly, at all. Like a person that was researching this stuff, it wasn't shocking at all. However, um, some people have some interesting takes on a documentary. I'll give you my thoughts. Uh, Listen, I'm gonna make this clear. I do not, in no shape or form, condone anything that Diddy did. I'm totally against it. I don't agree with none of that. I know Diddy is a piece of shit. Especially he did a lot of crazy stuff. However, let's not make Diddy the poster child for the corruption in the music industry because he's far from it. And that's my only thing, you know, is we're not going to make him the face when he's small fries compared to the entire industry and what been going on since the music industry uh, has been, controlled by these record companies and these Jewish people and these record execs who've been exploiting artists since the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. You know, who you think Diddy learned it from? But anyway, I'm gonna play a video of Corey Holcomb, talking about the industry and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it.
I know told me that
The pickle
D
palace.
Wade and LeBron was a couple, and that's why they set that up.
Nah, I don't believe that shit.
You don't believe that shit? You don't believe LeBron ever was like, fuck it, Diddy, what you working with?
No. I mean, who knows, man? But
I watch people who take up for Diddy,
yeah.
and they all have skeletons that they don't want to talk about. When you see somebody who was at one of the Diddy parties say this, now I wasn't there, I don't know, but I'm just saying, when you see somebody say, I never saw nothing crazy going on, that sounds kind of suspect.
Yeah.
Right.
First of all, you at a party.
Let me interject. I don't think it's suspect, but because sometimes, like, listen, I'm not saying everybody didn't know what was going on in the industry. Maybe he might be right, but I think there was people that were there and like, all right, I'm gonna leave at a certain time because I know there's some things that's going to go down. You know what I'm saying? I believe that people are aware that things happen, but there's people that are aware of what's going on. There's no way you could be in the music industry, but there could be people that just got involved in the industry that are not aware of a lot of these things. So I'm trying to be, fair in this outlook, but it's no way if you're familiar with the industry, you're not going to see any funny business going on. It's no way.
Where baby oil remnants are around. And you ain't never seen nothing crazy going on? I go to parties that wasn't Diddy parties and I see shit to make me go time to get the fuck up out of here.
Right. Well, they did say, didn't a lot of the people that were giving their recount of what happened say that it happened all after the party? Like if you were invited to that late after the party, you feel what I'm saying?
I don't know.
So I guess that he had a traditional entertainers party first.
I have trouble empathizing for any man that repeatedly gets sexually assaulted by another man. Like
That's
it just keep happening. It just keep like when you see the dude who's like, yeah, I kept waking up. He kept drugging me, and sometimes I wake up and my booty would
You know, I totally agree with Craig because you know a lot of people they'll do anything to get that money and when they get into involved in the music industry and they will like bypass certain behaviors and certain things because they're trying to, you know, become famous or, you know, get wealth or money. But, you know, at a certain point, once you know something is happening, you have a decision to say, yo, man, listen, I'm not gonna sacrifice my soul because this nigga's a freak and he like to, you know, get down crazy. I know this dude's moving like that. All right, man, I gotta find another opportunity for myself that doesn't involve me selling my soul. Whether I gotta work a regular job because my soul is not for sale. But people will compromise themselves for money. And this is why these things are happening. So you can't solely just blame Diddy when these are grown men. And you could just say taken advantage of, but it's not really taken advantage of if you have a decision to leave and say, hey man, I'm gonna just get a regular job. You know what I'm saying? So how much did he really take advantage of you? Because you chose to put up with it because you wanted to stay in the industry and get whatever sexually assaulted by Diddy, but you know, instead of saying, nah, man, I'm not fuck the industry, I'm gonna just do it, work a regular job and just, you know, whatever. So yeah, Craig does have a great point.
Would be sore, and either Diddy would be in bed with me or a woman. I'm like, nigga, what do you mean? You keep that ain't no you can't be no victim if you a man. If
Amen.
Diddy got me, he would be dead.
Or the one guy that said he woke up and he didn't have his clothes on, he was outside the window.
That's what I'm saying. It don't. Here's the thing.
He's an entertainer. What's
I
his
don't
name?
empathize with Diddy because he's a scumbag. But when I watch the documentary, I'm like, yeah, okay. Anytime, come on, man.
Craig, you going where I'm going. This is what I want to say to the world. If you have sex with man and you're a man and you don't disclose that, you have never done anything right in your life. If you are a man who has
All right, so I'm gonna stop it right there. Pretty much, you know, they had a interesting take on P Diddy situation in documentary. And listen, this is far from new, and will go. This is normal things that goes on in behavior, and this is the one thing I didn't like about the documentary is that it doesn't reveal what's really uh it when you associate certain behaviors with one artist, it's not being truthful. I mean, with one person, it's not being truthful because you know, P. Diddy was actually a victim and he learned from Clive Davis, who took advantage of him. Clive Davis have been destroying artists' careers, been mysterious murders, alleged murders in the industry since the 60s. He had his I believe he had his studio raided by the feds, never went to prison. And you know, a lot of artists went missing, and a lot of artists died under his watch. Mysterious murders from Felissa Hyman, uh, Whitney Houston, Janis Joplin. You know, so many artists that was TLC. You had Left Eye, and then you had artists that were money that was they weren't getting paid. They were stealing artists' money and profiting and making millions off of artists. This been going on before even Clive Davis. Clive Davis learning from these other record companies, co-founders and owners. So it's just to me, it's a spit in the face to make Diddy seem like he's the poster child. And listen, I no way, shape, or form condone anything Diddy does. But if we're gonna call out one, let's call out the root, the real people that's in power, that's created this condition, which a lot of people are afraid to speak of because these people are powerful people. They have powerful people backing them, protecting them, and a lot of them would never go to prison. Most of them would never go to prison. Most of them would never even have a documentary written about them. And the ones that are really uh involved in it to that level, you know, they're never gonna. You don't even know their face. They're not famous like P. Diddy or R. Kelly. So this is what's going on. They've been doing this since, listen, the Temptations, since Sam Cooke. You know, they've been killing artists and putting artists on drugs and destroying artists' careers, and a lot of homosexual behavior been happening for since the 50s. That's why it's a little surprising that people are really shocked when you really research this stuff and see what's been going on for years. Check out the Sam Cooke story. Check out all of these other artists that was mysteriously murdered, and the situation has never been properly investigated. And they say, oh, it was suicide, or this person died over drug overdose. And then you realize these companies, after their death, they profit and make millions and millions more money after their death. But anyway, I'm gonna show you guys another video. Sorry. Like I said, man, this has been going on for years. For years, man. And yeah, let me play this real quick. And just, I'm going to make another video really breaking it down, what's really going on in the industry, stuff like that. Because we got to be honest, man. If we're going to be honest, everybody got to go down. Let's not just take the small fries. Let's take the people that's really running these huge drug trafficking, sex trafficking organizations that have been destroying artists, hundreds and hundreds of artists, stealing money. These record companies are notoriously known for doing that. And not only that, they legitimately steal your money, and it's nothing you can do about it. And they take advantage of artists because they make them sign contracts, and you could blame to a certain extent the artist for not having an attorney or somebody that know how to read over these contracts. But still, the whole premise is to take advantage of the artist. All right, let me play it.
Raid a man's properties, but not raid him. They raid a nigga's property. They coming to get you too. They sacrifice a Diddy. They said, man, you gotta take this shit. We can't be involved. But Diddy smart. He filmed every session. He was fucking Clive and the motherfucking freak boy that run Universal Music Group. Now that's why they raided the house, because they got friends in Homeland Security and the feds. And they said, get there and get them tapes from this nigga. He trying to blackmail us. That's what I believe is going on. They just gonna raid a man's.
Absolutely. So you see Eddie Griffin basically breaking down how, Clive and Diddy used to be sexual partners or whatever. And Diddy is the one that Clive Davis is actually the one that funded Bad Boy. A lot of people don't know that. So Clive Davis introduced Diddy into how to extort artists, allegedly, how to take advantage of artists, and gave him money to do so. So now, for whatever reason, the situation became shaky. Their relationship became rocky. Diddy has a lot of dirt on a lot of people in the industry, because if Diddy was to release a lot of the stuff he know, damn near the entire industry going down. So that's what I'm saying. We're not just going to pretend like it's just this guy, and you know what I'm saying? And I didn't agree with the 50 Cent documentary. 50 Cent just targeting him. I think you should target the entire industry, because when you target somebody that's not really the root of the problem, that's kind of corny to me, because you got to target these billionaire Jews that been destroying artists for years, that been raping artists, literally and financially. You have to target everything. Don't just sit up there and target this man for a personal reason. You know what I'm saying? Let's target the whole music industry. So that's my problem. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about this video. Cut it short. But I'm gonna make another video on Clive Davis and how they've been destroying these artists for years, and these record companies been taking advantage of artists. So anyway, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what y'all think. It's your boy King Barracuda. I'm out.